And welcome in to In-Game Chat for Saturday, September 9th, 2023. It is Season 17, Episode 29. I'm Scott.
I'm RJ.
And I'm Matt.
Whoa, Matt's loud.
Yes, I am.
Let's bring Matt down a little bit.
Oh, man.
It's been a while. Okay, there you go. I think you're good. You're good to go. All right. Oh, goodness.
I just like to announce myself.
Very loudly, apparently. But that's fine. We're picking you up, and it's been a while since you've been here, so welcome back to the show. We are, if you'd like to get in touch with us, I'll unbusy the lines. You can call us, 334-272-9228. 272-9228 is the number. Go to ingamechat.net to check out all the links to get in touch with us. You can find us on Twitter at InGameChat. Find us on Facebook at InGameChat as well. You can email us, everyone, at ingamechat.net. And we are streaming right now on Twitch, so go to twitch.tv, type in In-Game Chat, you'll be able to find us that way, or go to our website, ingamechat.net, go to the bottom, links right there, so you can get to our Twitch page. Join us on Discord as well. We are currently on Discord, where you can join in and talk with us live on the air. So, welcome in, everybody. It's been 2 weeks since we've been here. It's been 6 months since Matt's been here, probably. I don't know, at least. Probably 6 months.
Something like that.
April, I think?
That's been a minute.
March, April. I can't remember what might have released or what you would have had or what was going on the last time we saw you, but something like that. So anyway, welcome into the program. We got a lot to cover because it has been 2 weeks since we've been here, but got a lot to cover with us. Oh, yeah, let me do this. Hang on. Before I forget. A little this. There we go. So, yeah, it's been 2 weeks since we've really discussed anything. In that time, Gamescom took place, and there were announcements all over for that. We had Destiny news that same week as well, and then last week we had the big Starfield release, this past week anyway, so lots to cover, and so we're just going to jump right into it. Not necessarily in the news, but talk about what we've been playing. We're just going to go to Matt first.
Sure.
Because it's been so long. Anything that you have played, if you can work it in chronologically and not jump straight to Starfield first. Anything in between the last time you were here and now that isn't Starfield?
Yeah. I been working on the Dead Space remake.
Okay.
Which works better on my Steam Deck than on my PC.
Yeah, did you pick that up, RJ?
No, I haven't picked up.
Okay.
No.
For some reason, the PC, the controllers are just jacked. Like when I use my controller, it automatically goes to like aiming and firing whenever I move anywhere. Like it does not like. I tried my Xbox controller. I tried my PS5 controller. It's just annoyingly does not work. So, but on the Steam Deck, works great.
That's strange.
You know, like some of the fixes go to, on the PC, go to big picture mode and then run it from that. You know, I'm just like, it's just more of a hassle than I need. So I played on my Steam Deck for a little bit and just enjoyed that.
No idea what's causing that. Looked around on the internet and see what the issue is.
A couple of, I'm just seeing that other people have had that issue and like, they say, here's, how you might want to fix it. And
I was going to say, any kind of driver issue or...
I think it's just how the game is.
And you can't
Because
Can you not?
the Steam Deck kind of is more like big picture mode on a handheld.
Yeah, but you can't you can't do any kind of controller binding or controller.
I've tried like
can't change anything around.
all different kinds of stuff, and it just got frustrated with it, and just like whatever, and I'll just play it over here.
You tried it with a flight stick?
No,
I'm just kidding. I don't know why you would.
So I've done that. Arma with Kevin, DCS, getting back into that.
Yeah.
Dave the Diver.
Yeah, that's one.
I've been enjoying that one. That one's that's one of those you just pick up, play for a little bit. I've been doing a lot of traveling lately, and that's great for airports. Mm-hmm. Like they have those airport games that are good for like on a flight where you don't have to think too hard. You can just tool around a little bit and enjoy that.
I think it was phrased to me before, one of those games you just turn your brain off and just play.
Yes.
Like that.
Let's see. I don't know if we talked about Jedi, not Fallen Order, but Survivor.
Mm-hmm. I don't think we did.
Okay. Yeah, beat that
But I'm
one.
sure you picked that one.
Oh, yeah. Picked it up.
I recently played Fallen Order.
Okay.
Got through that recently.
What'd you think of it?
I was. Do you remember? I hated the maps.
Yeah.
I could not stand. It got better, obviously, when you got further in the game, but early on, it puts you on a map. Mm-hmm. And I wish I could remember that. It's been a while, but I don't remember the names. It was one of the maps that put you on that is really massive when you look at the map.
But trying to find anything in that map or make it
was tough. It was so difficult to do when you don't have everything. When you don't have your abilities to get you into places. You're like, I can go. Nope, I sure can't go there. Or what I really hated was
no fast travel.
Right. You get off your ship, you go to the furthest end point of the map to do whatever it is you were supposed to do. When you're done, now you got to make your way back. Most of the time, they kind of provided something that would skip a lot of stuff.
But not everything.
But I either didn't have the ability to use that yet, or I missed it, or whatever the case. It was really, really annoying.
Some of the back travel in that was annoying. And they did address that for the sequel.
Did they? Okay.
Yes, you could fast travel in the sequel.
That's good to know. Very good to know.
During the different meditation points.
But yeah, that was a big issue I had with the game itself. Some of the Wookiee hair looked horrible in the first game.
Wookiee hair's not the easiest to do.
I'm sure it's not.
I mean, look
but
how
it was nightmare fuel in some scenes of that thing.
I mean, look how Wookiee's been done throughout, even in toys or in.
I know.
Trying to do long hair like that is just not the easiest.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't going to be great, but
yeah, it's kind of like woo.
Some of it was really bad, but there was, there were. I forget how old that game is, which makes it sound like it's an old game. It's really not that old.
Not too terribly old.
Yeah.
5 years?
Yeah, something like that. Some of the facial animations were good, but then some of the full body animations weren't that great as far as the NPCs.
Yeah.
Your character's fine. The NPC's not so great. But those are nitpicks on something that was overall decent as far as story-wise goes. I was perfectly okay with it. I was also playing it for free because at EA whatever through Game Pass, that sort of thing. So I really wasn't too concerned about it, and I was just playing it because I was probably going to get around to doing the sequel pretty soon, and I had the time.
Yeah.
So that's when I did it. What else?
I'm trying to think through my library that stuff that I've been doing.
I know most of the time, when I would look at you, you'd be playing Dave the Diver.
Yeah. There's something else on Steam that I have been that recently that just pick up for fun and play, but I'm just drawing a blank. Oh well.
I was trying to think. You didn't pick up Baldur's Gate 3. You didn't do Diablo 4.
Did not.
I'm trying to think of some of the releases that have come out. Final Fantasy 16's on the PS5, so there was not that.
Yeah.
Did you pick up any?
I haven't played Final Fantasy in
Let's
forever.
see. Spider-Man's on PC. You've got that.
Yeah.
You're doing that.
And the Miles Morales.
And that's on PC as well. Uncharted 4, I think, finally hit PC.
I've.
But you probably played that.
I played
on the
that.
PS4.
I was running back through that, and I didn't do the DLC, the
Lost Legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to do that.
Okay.
I just had to make room on my hard drive, shuffle things around because
Probably with Starfield, I'm sure.
More and more games are 160 gigs. that I'm like, all right, let me start, uninstall. I'll get back to this one after I do that, and let me just like shuffle stuff around.
Yeah.
Which was annoying. Got back a little bit into Ghost Recon Breakpoint.
Okay.
Just by myself.
Solo. I was going to ask. Solo.
Yeah, solo. I think that game didn't do any favors when it came out, and it's still harboring some bad feelings, even though they fixed it with the gameplay and the mechanics. But I was going through because I hear you could get some optical camouflage, which I'm always a fan of. Mm-hmm. And so I picked that up. I'm like, all right, yeah, that's cool. It's still the same game, so sort of,
Duke here says you've been playing Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
The remaster.
Yeah, I did that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played through that a couple of times, trying to get the better score, cut down my time. And I love that remaster. That was a really good way of doing it.
Oh, okay.
For me,
I didn't hear really any complaints.
Yeah, horror games are always like that first initial time is always the worst because it takes the longest because once you know the scares are coming around the corner, like, okay, I know this guy's going to attack over here. I know this is going to be over here. You already know the beats. Like you can't really re-experience that kind of scare.
Not really off topic, but I know the discussion is what we played, but just to go to the Resident Evil thing, is there something left for them to remake? Is 5 too early?
I don't think 5's too early. Like I would love a remake of 5 and 6 where they're not so ridiculous.
I don't know how you can fix 6.
Just
5. I don't know that you can fix 5 either.
I mean,
honestly,
the boulder punching and the.
I know. That's why I'm like, do you think it's like, hey, we're done?
Possible to?
We're done for now.
But then again, at the same time, like, yes, I enjoy 4. 4 is a classic. Everyone loves 4. The first,
I know, but that seems to be the quality drop off at that point.
Yeah.
5,
but even like 3,
I liked 5 with co-op.
5 with co-op was great. Like
I had fun with the solo.
7 and 8 were fantastic. I think.
Oh, okay, yeah. I only meant.
Yeah.
I guess I meant whatever. 7 and 8 feels
those are
like
new.
yeah.
So what will be the threshold for a remake? I'm saying I would think 10 years, at least.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to look for examples, I'm sure I can find you 10 even less for some that do remakes. But
Dark Forces is getting a remaster.
That's right, and that goes way back.
I almost wish you'd get a remake, but remaster's fine.
Yeah, that goes a long way back. I don't know that 10 years is like
96. I think it was.
Yeah, I don't know that 10 years is where it's at. I think it's wherever. I don't know.
Or even 95.
I mean, look at
length of time and enough demand for it.
Yeah,
really.
But at the same time, maybe I don't want Resident Evil 5 to be remade. Do Resident Evil 9. Or
right, yeah. Do
Onimusha.
Do the next one through.
Do a new Onimusha.
Thar66 is Code Veronica.
Ooh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you got me on that one, Thor. I do want that one.
Yeah, because that was my first Resident Evil.
I love Code Veronica, and like playing it again, like now, it's different. It's very,
sure.
Like, wow, this is kind of lonely and just not
compared.
Yeah, that one I wouldn't mind having them do.
Yeah, I don't know what the span is for. Is it too early to do a remake or too late?
Yeah, that's just a good question.
What's the threshold?
Really, what's the threshold to what has to happen first before you decide to make a remake of a title?
See,
how much time has to pass? How much demand has to be there?
I don't think anything. I would say maybe demand, but
yeah.
Resident Evil, you really can't go wrong up until you get to 5 and 6, possibly. Code Veronica sounds like the way to go. Honestly,
yeah.
That's really ought to be where they go for that.
Yeah.
5 and 6 did kind of fall off the rails.
6 was especially.
Yeah.
All I knew was that 6 was bad. 5 I had a lot of fun with, so I don't.
Like 5 I did too, but only in co-op mode. I was okay with that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have gone through it by myself. It was fun playing it with James.
No, that's what I mean. I went through the thing solo. I had fun with it. So yeah.
Well, I mean, we all have our own what we liked and didn't. I just don't know. I feel like that they've done them all now. They probably will do a 5 and a 6. just to continue the whatever. Unless, of course, they do a remake of 5 and it sells horribly. Then they may not go after a 6. If they're even going to do it at all. I have no idea.
Days Gone. I've been replaying a little bit of Days Gone.
Yeah. You were looking through your Steam list to see what you've been playing.
I'm like, well, let me go through here real quick. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to fire that up. I've got it on the PlayStation, so I need to. But I haven't done anything with it. But yeah, I may.
That's a fun game. I enjoyed that.
And then, of course, you've been playing Starfield.
Yes.
And we'll get into that. Duke probably wants to try. He's already in the room there. He probably wants to chime in about it. And let's see. Duke, are you there?
Oh, I'm here.
There he is. All right. Hang on. Steve,
I don't know if I can. I got kids that are.
Oh, no.
It's almost bath time, so I got limited time.
Okay, can I take a break here and come back, and we'll just give you guys the floor to talk Starfield?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, Let's do that. Let's go to break. We'll worry about what RJ and I have played later, since we got 2 people. Because neither RJ nor myself have played Starfield yet, so we'll let you guys.
I mean, you're banned from Destiny now, so you have no excuse not to.
I haven't mentioned that yet, but yeah, I haven't mentioned that. Where did that come up for you?
Your Steam screenshot.
Okay, I was wondering if that ever posted. I didn't see it, but I was wondering if it posted. So
it posted.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that, but I want you guys to talk Starfield first before I get into that. Steve let the cat out of the bag, but that's okay because it wasn't going to matter. We'll be right back with more of In-Game Chat. Here is music from Armored Core 6. Did you play that?
No, Kevin's been playing that, and I'm curious about it.
All right. We'll be right back. This track is called Fight or Flight here on In-Game Chat coming up. And welcome back to In-Game Chat. Music here from Trine 5.
Haven't heard of it.
You haven't heard of Trine 5? Yeah.
No.
It recently came out.
Okay.
Yeah. I forgot they were still making those. I knew they had done... I remember when the first Trine came out, and it was actually pretty fun. I want to say it was people from WoW, I think, who had broken off to form the studio, made the game. And kept going with it.
I didn't know they're up to the 5th one.
I know, already up to the 5th, so there you go. We got Matt in studio, and we've got Steve hanging out in the chat on Discord, and they are here to talk Starfield, a game which I have yet to play, but suddenly have lots of time to do so, which I'll get into later. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts. I got both of you playing it on PC, I assume, so... Yeah. And both of you playing it on Steam, through Steam?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, cool. Just making sure. I've been considering, like, doing a partition on one of my hard drives and putting the Xbox Game Studio whatever thing so I can play it through there because I have Game Pass and it's free. But I'm still sketchy on games for Windows or whatever they're calling it.
I have it on my PC. It's fine.
Have you used it?
Yeah.
Okay. It seems to be random where it can not necessarily screw up your hard drive, but you can't delete anything. It'll just keep elements of games on there, and you can't delete it. without doing a format, like just
I don't know
nuking
if
it.
I've had that problem with it.
I know. There's lots of reports of it happening, but there's lots of people out there that it doesn't happen to at all, ever. And then it can randomly just hit you one day, like a ban in a game for some reason. Just out of nowhere. But we'll get to that later. Anyway, Starfield. You guys, I guess, I don't know. Matt, you've put how many hours into it?
36.
Steve, how many have you thrown in? 136?
86.
Okay.
So for me, it came out right as I got COVID for the third time last week.
So first off, before this conversation gets into anything, if there's spoilers, try and please to work around them if you're able to.
I mean, it's an open world Bethesda game. It's hard to spoil really much. I mean, in my opinion, just because
I know everybody's journey is unique.
Yeah, everyone's journey is unique. The same problem with this, I say problem, use that term loosely, but the same thing I have with this is the same one that goes all the way back to Oblivion. When I first got out of the
and
prison.
He means the game Oblivion, not
the game.
The time of Oblivion.
When Elder Scrolls Oblivion came out, and you first get out of the prison,
right? Because you make a choice as to what to do.
There's a world in front of me. I need to take this quest to give this amulet to this dude over here. I'm going to go this opposite direction, and 130 levels later, my character progression. I'm like, I still haven't done quest 1.
Right.
It's the same with this.
But I think Scott's talking about if the main quest which
I wouldn't even know the main quest. I haven't started it.
I haven't either. I mean, I played the first segment of it, but then I'm like, okay, I'm done with this because I see where this is going, and I won't even mention what the theme of it is. But I totally went off in a completely different direction. From the gate.
I picked up the you pick up a companion. Mm-hmm. Right, for the first thing, she's like, "Oh, we need you to go over here as part of whatever," and I'm like, "Oh, I'm just gonna wander." Mm-hmm. And then in this game, you'll hear conversations of NPCs talking, and it'll pop up a quest marker saying "Oh, you might want to check that out." And I'm like, "I think I will check that out." And I go off and do that, or you stumble upon things, and I'm to me, it's another. Bethesda game.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not even a marker. Sometimes it's just adds something to your quest list, to come back to, and it'll just your quest list will just grow.
Oh, my quest list is so big.
You'll hear a conversation with just two people in a spaceport, and they're like, some guy's trying to smuggle this stuff in, and then it's hey, investigate the smuggling,
and that'll lead into a whole 3-point quest of its own, or it just to me it's like any Bethesda game, really. I had to adjust my expectations of it because I was expecting more Elite Dangerous, kind of meets, Fallout in a way where with the space exploration and with the.
Did you play No Man's Sky, Matt?
I didn't.
You did.
I mean, very briefly, but not quite. I was, but from what I did play, I was expecting kind of like that, but it's not. It's more the space exploration is more like Mass Effect.
Yeah.
You bring up your map, you click on a thing, and it cutscenes you there. You bring up another map, you click on a thing, and you go down to the world. Okay.
Well, even Mass Effect didn't allow space battles though, and Starfield does.
So, but the space battles, I was, I was expecting more traveling in space than. The way they handle space battles is you're just your ship is in just a hit the mic. Yep. You're just in an area, right? And you might see distant worlds, but theoretically you could travel there if you you set your destination, go to sleep for 6 hours. Some people have been doing that, but it's not an actual destination. It's just a it's just an image that gets.
It's a skybox, is what it is. It's just
an empty skybox. The space battles are fine.
It's better than No Man's Sky. So I was heavily critical or pre-critical of what Starfield was going to be based on my experience with No Man's Sky. I said No Man's Sky has established space sim. Starfield, if they want to do anything like a space sim, which it is not, it is an RPG
yes, it is.
with a backdrop of space.
100% true.
And if they wanted to do anything like that, they have to make sure they don't do the annoying things that No Man's Sky did. And one of those things that I can happy report, you don't need fuel at all for your spaceship, which is a big complaint for No Man's Sky.
The jumps in this are almost just like pointless in a way, the way they limit you.
They limit you based on your level. That's how they do it, because you need to level up your jump capabilities, which coincides with the level of your character. So they make systems that are level 55, 65, 85. There's no way you can travel to those until you unlock certain things that will allow you to jump further. And that takes...
But maybe not directly, but you could still like go to like the system next. You just like system hop one by one. It takes longer.
No, you can't do that, because as you do that, the systems get further and further apart.
Okay,
so
maybe I haven't explored that far out yet, but like,
you can't get to the furthest distant stars until you get to the tier 4 of your whatever that trait is.
Class,
So they do a fine job with that. But I'm, comparing it to No Man's Sky is hard. Like I said, it better have co-op. I better be able to take off from my planet, fly in space, and land on a planet. You can't do that, right? You can take off. You can take off, and it's a cutscene.
Yes.
And then once you're in space, that's the skybox area that Matt was talking about. And then if you want to land, that's a cutscene. So,
or if you want to dock on another ship, that's a cutscene.
Correct.
So once I adjusted my expectations of it, I was, to me, I was thinking more like Elite Dangerous, because I did a lot of Elite Dangerous, where you jump into a galaxy, you could like explore any point in that galaxy. If it's a world that you can land on, you just go into orbit, you land, and you could fly around the world before you actually land your ship.
Same thing with No Man's Sky. It's like real time. Everything is calculated, and it's not. There's no way to do that.
So once I realized it's not that, I'm having a good time with it.
Well, I would say both. When you say No Man's Sky and for Elite Dangerous, they're more simish.
Yeah,
I would think. I mean, if you're able to say that No Man's Sky is space sim because of all the things it has you do, the fact that you have to eat, and you have to you have to get all these, you constantly have to replenish everything, I guess, and you have to do all these different things to keep yourself alive.
And that's where the gray line comes into play, because they borrow a ton from the No Man's Sky experience. So everything from like you're landing on a hazardous planet and having radiation, affect you, or
the cold.
Cold planets, hot planets, like all the different types of weather effects. They borrowed that. They borrow a lot of the main themes of No Man's Sky in the main storyline, which I'm not going to get into at all, but there's a lot of similarities there. And, you can have a companion, obviously, from the previous Bethesda games, which is always someone you can push all your inventory onto and have them carry stuff for you and that kind of thing.
Hey, is it like the micromanaging in from speaking of Bethesda, like Fallout New Vegas? Because survival mode, it was one of the most tedious things about that game. In survival mode was
tedious. That was great. That was the best way to play it.
Tedious to me.
No,
all the micromanaging like that.
They don't have to that extent. No.
Okay.
Ammo doesn't weigh anything.
Yeah.
Which once you put survival mode on in New Vegas, the ammo has a weight that affected so much.
Yeah.
Or the med packs themselves don't weigh anything. Like you do have weights for stuff, and like I am constantly running into my weight limit. But then
let's be honest, it's the worst part of the game. It's by far the worst part. The inventory system is the worst thing in Starfield by far, and it's completely it's compounded by the fact that you don't just have a base for you to go to. You have a starship now, and you have outposts. So you have these 3 different things and you have the inventory that's on your back. You have these 4 different areas that you have inventory, and then you have a crafting element on top of that.
Yeah.
And wherever you're crafting will not recognize your inventory unless you are holding it.
So, if you push stuff off to your companion, I would give the crafting materials to the companion. and so I go to a bench and like I have nothing to craft with. So I have to like, all right, let me talk to the companion. Let me get this stuff back. Let me try, and that is annoying.
Yeah, that reminds me of Fallout 4's crafting system. If you didn't have stuff in the bench, it wasn't available to you, even though you got like tons of it at some other settlement. You have to have, if you don't have it on you, it's just not available.
They have to patch this. They have to patch it because it makes crafting and it completely removes the joy out of doing anything custom in any of your bases or your houses, because you don't have enough room, and you're every 2 steps you take, you're encumbered and you can't do anything, and the screen goes fuzzy. Like even when you're in build mode and you're carrying like 1,000 aluminum because you're trying to build segments to your outposts, you're fuzzy and you can't really see like where you're building your stuff because you're jumping around trying to do it.
Have either of you messed around with the mods?
No,
not yet. Okay.
No, I haven't either.
I got a question for you, Duke. I just got a new ship from one of the quests. Gave me a ship, really nice ship.
So you're a ranger now.
Yeah, I'm a ranger now. So you know exactly which one I'm doing. So it's a good ship, really. It's
an excellent ship.
Class A. Ooh, yeah, but like all my stuff that I had on my previous ship, like in the lockers and everything, I don't think that transferred over.
So I've seen people say the same thing, and in theory, it should transfer over. It'll just transfer into your cargo bay, not your personal captain locker that you have up by your captain's chair.
Because I got rid of the first ship, the first chance I could. I actually did the quest where the Mantis.
That's a good quest too.
And so I was like, not to, like you said, no spoiler, but like this, like just a little side quest. But like the Mantis is like this world's version of Dread Pirate
Batman.
Roberts.
It's Batman. Did you see?
Or Batman. But yeah, so like like people always like, oh no, we know about this, and like and like you show up and like you start fighting people, like oh no, hey,
right.
I had some conversation with this NPC saying like, oh, we knew you'd come and save us, and like it felt to me like very Dread Pirate Roberts, from Princess Bride, like like the name carries on, and so I have in the back of that ship, I had like gun racks, and I had guns stored in there, and some ammo stored in there, and like. When I was doing one mission, I had to offload all of my ill-gotten inventory.
Yeah, contraband.
All the stuff that I've stolen because you have to. If you get arrested, they confiscate everything, all your stolen items. And I'm like, no, this gun's really good. This gun's really good. This stuff I need. So I had to like offload it for a little bit. Until
the contraband stuff in the worlds is really well done. Like that, that's like the pirate side of space.
So much fun.
So you when you enter a system, the system will scan your ship for contraband, and then they'll either arrest you and you can go quietly, or you can take a
run for it.
But in doing that, and when you become like deciding like what kind of space person you're going to be, you end up accruing bounties against you, which accumulate over time. So you could potentially find yourself in a world where you have like $100,000 bounty on your head, and then bounty hunters will come and find you.
Random encounters.
Yeah.
Random encounters. Yep.
Yeah.
Or like you have like different little perks when you're building your character. Like one of the ones I chose was I have parents in this game. Mm-hmm. And like randomly, I'll get a little note from moms and hey, come and visit your dad and I. Okay, try and find out where they're at now.
You can choose that as you go along to whether you had parents or Okay, I wasn't sure.
Yeah,
I know you can do a whole thing of the person, not only just the way you look, but the person you are. Like, what is your backstory? What did you study? What do you go? I mean, it's a
first you choose like basically what kind of
Bethesda game.
Yeah, what class of character you're going to be. Like I chose to be a soldier, just because I like the bonuses it gives for boost pack and gunning, and I think stamina was the 3 for that. Then you choose like 3 different perks, and the perks are a risk reward kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Like one of them will be like, you're better off with companions. So if you're out with a companion, you have a bonus. But if you don't have a companion, you have a negative. Or, you have one where you own a house, but in order to own the house, every week you have to give so much money, as your mortgage. So you have to keep on paying off a mortgage. Or one of them is you're wanted by, just randomly people will come and try and bounty hunters will come after you. Mm-hmm. So there's different risk rewards in there. But
I wish that. I was gonna say I wish they made those more clear from the start of your character, because the house one that you're referring to, it's called the Dream Home.
Yeah.
You can't get that unless you select it at the start of your character. I thought that was something you could eventually buy, later, but you can't. It's not available for you, so you have to decide at the beginning.
At the beginning, you're looking at that and you're like, I don't want to spend that money. With the parents, every week I have to spend 2% of my income goes back to the parents. I'm like, okay, well, 2% of whatever, that's fine. But you're looking at this and you're trying to figure out how, the first time playing it, and wow, that's a decent amount of money that fork over just for a mortgage to have a dream home. That am I going to go visit that often?
I was going to say, how often are you in that dream home?
Exactly.
Given the fact that this is a game where you want to go out and explore.
Well, Scott, because your inventory is so enormous, you need a place to store all that.
Gotcha.
So you can create these storage, crates inside your dream home. Which, by the way, I didn't buy a dream home. I bought the penthouse at Neon. And it's like a studio apartment compared to the dream home. So I don't have many places to put all of my crates and for my crafting.
I just stopped crafting for a while. I mean, I don't have any points in that. The crafting system to me is just because you have to put points into skills to do better crafting. So you could do but it's not just in general. You have to do. There's a weapons crafting, and then there's a suit crafting, and then there's and I'm I just want to shoot things.
Yeah.
I'll find random guns that are really good. I know that you can craft really, really good guns with really good bonuses with just damage amplifiers, and that's fine. But right now, I'm working towards my stealth and persuasion. Those are the two big ones. I maxed out on stealth, and I'm working on persuasion. But under the stealth, because you have different skill trees. Under the tree that has stealth and endurance and everything, at the very bottom, one of the bottom tier is chameleon, where if you get enough points in that, it's the whole thing. It's basically a
you and your camo.
Camo
I really
suits.
love your camo.
Man, if I could sit still with my sniper rifle and just have the optical suit where you can't see me and I'm just plucking heads, I'm happy.
Yeah,
So,
I like to go. I'm afraid to bring it up the comparison to Fallout 4 at the time, but that's the thing I've got. Hearing your descriptions of the perks and everything, I'm seeing the comparisons between Special and Fallout 4, especially that Lone Wanderer, the bonus if you're by yourself, things of that nature. So how complex is the leveling up system or the perk system compared to Fallout's? Much more, more intricate, more detailed in there?
No, not much more. It's just there's 4 layers to it. Okay. So like what Matt was saying, persuasion, sometimes your persuasion will go up 20% of the time, and then the next time you level it up is 30%, and then it caps at 40 or I think that's
50.
how they did it. It's the same thing with anything. Same thing with one of the scanning. There's a scanning perk for your ship, so that when you go to a planet, instead of actually landing on the planet and scanning everything with your personal handgun that you have, and you can go scan the elements and the animals, which, by the way, is taken from No Man's Sky. You can get the perk that will actually include some of those scans for you before you even land on the planet. So there's less work for you to go down on the planet.
Okay, so when you're trying to find those elements for crafting, that should make that a little easier.
Exactly. Exactly. And then it's 4 levels to every, lock picking, right? Mm-hmm. So you unlock the first one, you can do novice, then I think expert, master.
Yeah. And then it gives you little bonuses of it'll, because the lock picks have different layers, right? Yeah. The first layer you have to select, you have to match up the, little pegs to the holes. Then it goes down another layer, you have to match the pegs to the holes, and you have different options. But as you upgrade your lockpick skill, it'll let you know like, oh, this one layer doesn't have any of this, pegs that I'm selected right now. So let me go to the next layer. And
okay, yeah. So it's a little more intricate than the screwdriver and the bobby pin in this time around. So yeah, okay.
I would think this is my favorite lock picking mechanic
so far.
Since I was going to say Deus Ex, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, this is like definitely the most. It's not as annoying as a lot of other lock pickings have been. To me, I find it like, oh, okay, let me try and figure this one out. Like they're little puzzles that aren't. They're not as annoying to me. I don't mind lock picking in this game at all.
Yeah, Fallout New Vegas had a good one too, if I remember. I don't think it was the standard like lock pick in the keyhole.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
Maybe it was.
I don't remember.
I can't remember
Vegas.
if it wasn't a screwdriver with a bobby pin. I mean, the highest perk I got out of lock picking in those games was your bobby pins don't break if you max it out enough. So you could keep trying again until you get it right. But I can't think of we got the internet right here. I could look it up while y'all are talking. Now.
It is a screwdriver in the bobby pin. I don't know what I was thinking, but
yeah, but a lot of the mechanics in this one I'm enjoying. Just trying to figure out like how I want my character to be. Do I want to be like the super goody two shoes person? Do I want to be sort of morally ambiguous? Like, sometimes you walk a line.
No, you got contraband. I think we know where you're going.
I do.
The fact that crafting, if crafting is this tedious to do, you may just forget it. Just get the contraband. I want the better weapons now.
Some people might like. I've never been one. Even in Fallout 4, I didn't like the building. I didn't like building stuff.
Oh, I love the building in Fallout 4. Absolutely loved it. And the only complaint I had with it was that I couldn't share it with anybody, which is the same in this game. Like I can't really invite any players to come check out my base or my ship because you can build a ship from scratch. Just with the modular stuff that's available.
Yeah, people have been I've seen videos of like, hey, I just made a TIE fighter, or I just made this, or I'm like,
yeah, they did the Millennium Falcon. Somebody just built a ship that just had hallways.
A ship out of hallways. Yeah. I wouldn't mind like doing like a Battlestar Galactica, like a Galactica, have a big old ship like that. But I'm enjoying it. One of the perks I did pick was the Adoring Fan. Did you get that one?
I didn't.
He's annoying.
I only did like some of the, I did Persuasion. I knew that from just past Bethesda games that there's going to be a lot of dialogue and trying to convince people without using violence.
Yes.
I always try to go through my first playthrough as like, the nice guy that tries to do all the right things. So I knew that was going to be a helpful perk. And then I regrettably did one with the economy where you sell things for 15% more and buy things for 10% less. That was a big waste because most of the vendors don't even have enough credits for you to actually offload all your stuff, which is a problem. And then sometimes you can't even, like what I usually do is buy like as much ammo as they have, which will give them credits, and then I'll try and sell all my stuff to them. And it's still normally, I have like thousands of credits that I need to sell to a vendor. Like I got suits, I've got resources, I've got helmets, guns, everything. Like ammo I'm not using, even though ammo doesn't take up any weight. It sells for pretty good penny. So,
this is the same problem I had in Fallout 4. But walking around the Commonwealth, you have all the stuff, but they ain't got the money to give to you. So you're stuck with it until you find someone else.
That's why
there's a little bit of a trick in this game. You just rest for 24 hours in some systems. Yeah. Sometimes it's 48, depending on the system you're in, because the local time is different from
universal
actual
time.
Real time.
Yeah, I read an article about how they treated Venus that way, which Venus is already that way. In other words, a day on Venus is longer than a year on Venus because of the slow rotation on its axis compared to the rotation around the sun. So if you go to Venus, park on Venus, sit there for an in-game of an hour, then I believe in-game hours pass at like 24 hours or 20 or 100 hours, something like that. The time is different and they did that on Venus, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, they do have like when you wait, say local time and like universal time.
And there is real time, like sun rising and setting. So there's some, you can get some really great vistas when you're on planets.
I was scrolling through a minute ago. I went to my Steam page and was scrolling through activity and saw a lot of screenshots from you, which you did the same thing with No Man's Sky. So I'm glad to see you're doing it here with this one.
We're talking desktop worthy.
Some of the Vista type stuff. Some of it was just like, here's my ship, it's amazing. But then some of it's like, hey, this landscape thing. I think your character was pretty much all in of them, though. You can do what, first and third on this? Okay.
And they have a great photo mode that doesn't take seconds to load in and out of. So you can just pop into photo mode and rotate the camera and do all kinds of fun stuff. So it's really, you can take some great shots with their photo mode.
I have a lot of games I've done that with. Made little collections for your screensavers. I think I've done it with Dark Souls, Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost is great.
Ghost has tons of
that game needs to come out on PC.
Bloodborne as well.
Speaking of which, RJ, everything you take with photo mode actually will be replaced your images in the loading screens in the game. So that's kind of a nice little
they become loading screens. Nice.
Okay.
They become their own loading screens. It's pretty cool.
That's really
that is something.
Nice little idea.
Have fun with that.
You can do a lot with that. Yeah. I'm surprised no one did that earlier.
Why they have it? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's pretty smart.
Mm-hmm.
Last question before I got to run, but I wanted to ask Matt, what's your best Bethesda bug you've run into so far?
I've seen flying people. Just like I'll just walking around and the guy's like, oh hey, there's my NPC I need to talk to, and he just like yeets up in the air, and I'm like, oh, there he goes. All right, I guess I'll come back and talk to him later.
I have to go. My people need me.
Yeah, he just got raptured. It was the weirdest thing. I was like, oh hey, because it was like a quest mark, and it had the little quest mark above his head.
And Poochie was never seen again.
So I was like just walking towards him, and it was at the Alpha Centauri, the main hub area. The main place in Alpha Centauri. We're the garden or whatever. The big ship.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't, but I mean, I understand what you're saying.
So I'm just like walking towards this guy, and I see the quest mark. And I'm like, look at it, and all of a sudden he just goes straight up in the air. And I'm like,
what about you, Steve? What bugs have you come across, or what's your most annoying?
It's been pretty tame for me so far.
I've heard good things about the bug aspect of this game. It's compared.
Yes,
it's better.
Yeah, when your biggest complaint about a game is actually something in the game, then that's a good sign for Bethesda.
There's no game. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, so my biggest complaint is obviously the inventory system. That's fine. Yes. They can fix that. They can do different things. But no, the bugs I've seen floating rocks, floating buildings, like just kind of above the land, where you're supposed to be. But the funniest one was my ship flying backwards in space. It was just reversed, and I was flying, even though my rockets were pointed forward. Every time I would accelerate, I would still be going in the right direction, except the rockets are pointed in that same direction. So that's about it for me. Nothing really too crazy.
All right. Well, Steve, we're going to let you go, man. Thank you so much for talking to us about Starfield. We appreciate it, and I may see you in there.
Thanks for giving me a chance to talk about it. And I'll catch you guys.
Anytime, dude. Take care.
Yeah, you too. Bye, Matt. Good to see you. Good to see you on the show.
Thanks, man.
See you.
Bye-bye. All right. So we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we will. I'll. There's not much to explain. I'll just tell you what happened.
I can't wait. I'm like. This cliffhanger right here, man.
Yeah, I'll tell you everything that happened. Boy, anyway, we'll get to it. Here is music from a game called Sea of Stars.
Okay.
You know that
I've heard of it.
Yeah. Also, did you jump into the or is it out yet?
Sea of Thieves
with the
Monkey Island?
With the Monkey Island thing.
It's on my radar. I haven't had a chance to jump into it yet, but yes. I mean, any Monkey Island, I'm gonna.
Even though Ron didn't know anything about it.
That doesn't matter. Ron didn't have anything to do with Monkey Island 3, and that's still my favorite.
That's fine. We'll be back with more VinGame Chat right after this. Welcome back into In-Game Chat. Music from Daymare, 1994. I think it's a sequel to a Daymare 1986 or something they had.
That was the year I graduated high school.
86 or 94?
94.
Okay. Well,
not that much older than you.
I used to think I was older than you. Welcome back to the show. Yeah, that's what there's a demo. Apparently that's music from the demo. I think next week I'm going to do all music from Volition games since the studio was shut down this past week.
Yeah.
Kind of sad to see that one go. I know Saints Row didn't do great, the release on that, but there's been plenty of games that haven't done great, and the studio just kept going, and I don't know. This is also whatever, the Endeavor Group, I guess, whoever it is, the Embracer Group, not Endeavor. Embracer Group, who owns them, had a deal fall through that they expected a lot of money to come in from a deal, but it fell through, and now they've been cutting back on people, closing studios to, I guess, make up for the loss. So, anyway, welcome back to the show. A few things before I jump into my Destiny talk here. We didn't go over, RJ and I didn't talk about what we played. I haven't played anything but Destiny, so that's fine. RJ, what about you? What have you played?
A little more time with MLB The Show. Still playing baseball trips, trying to learn how to hit without timing, trying to go through zone. It's a little more difficult than I thought. It's just going to take a little practice. Yeah. Basically, I'm just going to have to spend a lot of time practicing in the mode before I actually start putting it in game. Really. Other than that, Virtua Fighter 5. Still getting some matches online. Still trying to figure out what's an actual person, what's a bot. Because I've seen some matches are replayed through the system, where it's just a bunch of people just spamming the same move over and over and over again and getting results. So maybe that's a way to level up. I'm not sure, but just trying to find matches with actual people instead of somebody's bot. And then other than that, playing a lot of Fallout 4 on my TV, upgraded TV, because the upgraded TV has better resolution. So now I'm seeing it at closer to 60 frames a second, and it's looks a lot better than.
Because you're playing on what system?
I'm still playing on a PS4.
PS4. Okay.
Yeah, but it's hooked up to a more modern television, so I'm getting a better resolution and things like that. So now I'm going to see what other games look so much better in at 60 frames instead of 30 frames. Seen it in the Souls series. I haven't put Bloodborne on there yet.
Oh.
Besides, there's some things I need to finish in Bloodborne. So I may as well put that in there and see how it looks on the
it's
on
funny
the higher resolution.
How when you get a system that can handle the higher resolution, then like you go back to like, ooh, what does that look like? Ooh, what does that look like?
Well, that's the first thing you do whenever you build a new PC. You throw on
all the
older games that you couldn't run at full blast, amazing. And then go nuts with it.
Yeah. So the first one was Fallout 4. So I'm probably going back to the library and seeing what else looks better, or it's just another reason to go back in your backlog and pick up your stuff, clear that out. So yeah.
All right. Also wanted to wish you a happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
Today is your birthday. Mm-hmm. It is RJ's birthday. I meant to do that at the top of the show, but when we had limited time with Steve, I wanted to make sure we had Steve, and especially with Starfield, since neither of us, Starfield is just the thing to talk about, and neither of us have played it except for Matt and Steve. So I wanted to make sure that they had a chance to talk about that. So I did wanted to wish you a happy birthday as well. And just I hope you make a day of it. Did you get anything for your birthday? You doing anything special for your birthday?
No, it gets to a point where your birthday is just like,
any other
birthday.
Day.
I made it.
Hey, for some people, and that's perfectly fine. For others, they not have a day, they have a month, or it's a week. It's like
it's a year.
It's my birthday month. It's my birthday week. Give me these things. But whatever the case may be, I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you're going to have a very happy birthday. We got an email, which we don't normally get. He was in the chat room there a minute ago, but I don't think he's there anymore. Multile shot us an email, and I wanted to get to that as well. He says, ahoy, ahoy, IGC. I hope you're all having a good time off. Everyone feels fresh for the 9th, and I can catch you live soon. I finally decided to jump in and get a PS5.
Oh, wow.
It's bigger than you thought, isn't it, Multile? I remember when I got the PS5 and opened it up, I was like, this is... I mean, the box is a good representation of size, but when you pull the machine out, it is still overwhelming with just how massive the thing is.
Yep.
And there he says, that huge beast of a thing got hooked up in my cabinet, and we have been setting it up and enjoying it this week. My wife was playing it last night, and after a while, I needed to fix another HDMI cable. So I opened the door again, and it was like opening a preheated oven because of the cabinet that it was in. You got to let that thing breathe, Multile. It is... It needs...
It's a heat hog.
It is, yes. So very hot. He says it now needs to move, and there is only one place left that isn't enclosed. It is going to have to go on top of the cabinet, which is about 7 feet in height. That is going to be fun when I have to swap discs.
Discs?
Well, when you have to put a new disc in or something like that. Yeah, I understand you're making a reference of that. But on a PC, when you can have multiple hard drives of varying space capacity, sure. And PCs don't need discs. But consoles are still relegated to that.
My PC
for the most
didn't
part.
even have a physical media reader.
No, mine that I built. No, you know what's in front of it now? Glass. It is now glass on most of it. I've seen you, or I've shown you pictures of it. But yeah, it does not have a drive whatsoever. They don't need them anymore. He says, so on to the question: what games and things have I missed from the PS5 that in-game chat would recommend?
Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, he says, of course, question goes out to the listeners in chat as well. He's picked up Last of Us Part 1. By the way, speaking of remakes, Last of Us Part 1, after we had a Last of Us remaster.
The PC one was
not a good one, I know, yeah.
I didn't pick it up.
He got Last of Us Part 1. He got Ghosts.
Okay.
He got, what does he get? God of War.
Sure.
Pick up God of War 2.
Ragnarok?
He didn't specify, so I'm going to say God of War, but don't forget to pick up Ragnarok.
I want to say Dead Space. Pick up Dead Space.
God of War and God of War Ragnarok are honestly a story that is told across two games. In other words, it is not a situation where, hey, here's the sequel, we're going to do other stuff. No, it's very much a continuation of what just happened in one.
You can't play one without the other.
You shouldn't.
Kind of like Last of Us.
You can, because they do a nice little recap for you to kind of catch up on the story, but you're going to get way more out of it if you go through one and then go through two.
Yeah.
What else did you pick up? The Quarry. Oh,
Quarry.
Yeah. The
that's the one that's like the
pictures. What is it called? The
Dark Pictures.
Dark Pictures anthology. Even though it's not part of that.
It's by those people.
Yeah.
Super massive.
He got Grand Theft Auto 5 as well. Yeah. And he picked up the online games this month, which was Death's Door, PGA 2K23, and Dreams.
Is it funny that GTA 5 came out on PS3?
I know. Xbox 360 and PS3. And then they released it on PS4 and Xbox One. Then they released it on Xbox Series X and PS5 and PC.
Yeah.
And yet we still have no 6. They're working on it, though.
Because it's still drawing money. Why not?
Yeah.
There you go.
Chris, I know you're on the line. Hang on. We're going to get to you. I just wanted to get this. We rarely get mail, and I wanted to get it out of the way here for us.
I would say Horizon Zero Dawn.
I would do Horizon, the first one and maybe the sequel. I'm not sure exactly what all you're into.
But from listening to what he's already picked up,
there's that, and what is the other one? I want to say there was some other stuff to get in it, but he's maybe Returnal. Possibly, I don't know if he likes those types of games, but maybe Returnal as well might be a good one to look at. It got a lot of good reviews there, so that is a possibility.
If it's in the Soul games, the Demon Souls on there.
So yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for that letter. We do appreciate it.
Yes.
And it's always good to get feedback like that. He jumped in the chat room there for a little bit, but he stepped out. So. Let's go to the phones here and talk to Chris. Hey,
What's
Chris.
going on?
While you guys talk to Chris, I have to return a phone call. I know but it's the owner, so I got to return a phone call. So go ahead and talk to Chris. Chris, what's going on?
Happy birthday, RJ.
Much obliged. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
It's good to hear it, Matt, again. How y'all doing?
Doing well.
Yeah, you've been out about and busy and all that stuff. So yeah, good to see you back, man.
Then I had COVID last week.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, third time.
Third time.
It getting better. As much as it's terrible, it still put me down for a week.
Yeah, I bet.
But I'm over that, which is I'm like, all right, it looks like it's going to be maybe a yearly thing. Unfortunately, my parents got it too, so I've been taking care of them. But other than that, I've been doing a lot of traveling with work and just living my life. Doing a lot. Got my scuba assistant instructor, so I'm now an assistant instructor for scuba diving.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been playing as much video games as I want, but hey.
So the backlog's getting bigger.
It's just staying there.
Yeah.
What about you, Chris?
Not much. As usual, backlogs as well, but I recently got back on vacation a few days ago and started playing Tunic, a physical version of it. I got on the Switch, so I played that a little bit and then decided to jump back in Final Fantasy 16 since I haven't played it in a while, and that's pretty much what I've been doing since I got back.
Man, I do not remember the last Final Fantasy game I played. 10?
Has it been that long?
No, wait. I did a little bit of 12, I think. That's the one where it played by itself, right?
Yeah, that was the one that was like a tactics game where you could set up AI commands for the characters.
Yeah, I think that's the last Final Fantasy I bought. Was Final Fantasy 12.
That was 12.
Mm-hmm. And it's up to 16 now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like minus the Final Fantasy 7 remake, the remake, which I enjoyed, although I didn't beat. I just played through that a little bit. I'm like, oh yeah, this is. So, did you play that one, Chris?
I played it a little bit and got. I can't remember where I got either, but I think I was getting pretty close to the end, and I just like you just put it down and really hadn't cared and just watched some gameplay of the final boss with Sephiroth and didn't really care about picking it back up.
See, I'm curious, like for other people, like for me, when I play like the remake and like I see the graphics, that to me is like the image I have in my mind of the original, like how it looked. Like when I play like the original game, to me, it's similar to like how the remake looks. Like in my mind, like when I think about it, like I don't think of games as being like herky jerky 2 polygons, together. I think of them as like real living worlds. So when I go back and I see these remakes of like older games, I'm like, oh well, I mean, like, didn't that how the original looked? And then you look at the screenshots next to each other. I'm like, oh no, it's not.
No,
but
the technology is caught up to the image you put in your mind.
So as like time goes on and as technology goes on, my brain sort of takes older games and adapts them in my brain to current technology. So when I think of like original Lara Croft, I think of like new Lara Croft, new Lara Croft. Like
I've played several old ones and like I don't remember ever looking this bad. It always seems like they look better in your mind than when you go back and look at them.
I guess it's at the time they didn't look bad. That's just how they looked. Like when we first played the original, I don't want to say like Alan Wake, right? You look at it now, or not even Alan Wake, Max Payne. Max Payne, right? Yeah. Like wow, at the time we're like, wow, you could like you look at the faces, it looks so realistic, and it's like, oh, and you look at it now, you're like, oh, whoa, but like at the time it looked really good.
At the time, compared to all the other compared to all the other games of the era, so yeah.
And it's weird that like that it looks really good in its moment to me. Just that's the part that sticks with me and continues along to where my nostalgia filter automatically makes it contemporary. It looks good in the moment now, not just back then.
Yeah,
I think the first one I remember that was mind blowing and compared to graphics, when something that looked really pretty was like the first Donkey Kong Country on Super Nintendo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a 3D. The 3D.
The VFX.
Kind of like almost clay. Look, I mean, a lot of detail in the characters there. I remember that.
I mean, like it's weird. Like I've talked with friends before about like the jump from pixels to polygons, right? Yeah. And from polygons to basically rendered, smoothing like how we have now. That from the original Super NES to the PlayStation.
Yeah,
we're not going to really see that kind of leap year ahead.
Yeah, it's
from a pixel base to a polygon base. Like we had in the past.
Yeah, you're not going to have those big jumps. The best comparison I've ever had to deal with that is, Virtua Fighter.
Yeah.
The original Virtua Fighter on the Sega Saturn, 92, 93, around that area. Yeah, blew our minds seeing it the first time.
Yeah.
But it was blocky polygon type things. Yeah. Then you look at Virtua Fighter 5, you can't see a seam anywhere in there. It looks in the player characters. Yeah, so it looks real good.
Going from Street Fighter, right? Like Street Fighter 2, where they're sprite based,
yeah, to
the polygon based that they are now. You know, or when the Mortal Kombat went to Mortal Kombat 4.
Yeah. Ooh. Oh, yeah. That was we try to forget that one, but yeah, I get what you're saying on that one. But yeah.
Anyway, I'm back now. I'm sorry, Chris. I didn't mean to abandon you on your phone call.
I'm glad you came back. So, what in the world did you do to get banned?
Well, that's coming up. You got to keep listening. I'm going to be talking about that.
We were vamping the whole time.
Okay, all right. Well, Chris, we appreciate you calling in, even though I missed the entire conversation. But thank you. Call back next week, of course.
All right. Well, y'all see y'all later. Y'all have a good one.
Take care, buddy.
Good talking to you, Chris.
Bye-bye.
Have a good one.
Bye.
All right, we'll take a break here.
Sure.
I don't mean to keep teasing it, but we got 5 minutes till we run to the top here. We'll take a break here, and then when we come back, we'll jump into that situation with the Destiny stuff. I promise you, I'm not building it up to be something amazing or something like, ooh, you got no. It's really, really
odd.
Anticlimactic, I can tell you that. We'll be back with more of In-Game Chat right after this. Music here from Immortals of Avium, which I have not played or really know anything about, but that's what it is, and we'll be right back. And welcome back to In-Game Chats.
This sounds really familiar.
Yeah, music from Starfield. Into the Starfield is the name of the track. So I think we got everything out of the way so we can finally jump into this thing. I didn't mean to make it such a tune in to find out why. Because here's the thing. I don't know why I was banned from Destiny 2, but I have been banned from Destiny 2.
On just one platform, or
the account?
Oh,
I mean the account. My account is banned from Destiny 2. I do not know why. Bungie does not tell you why. They'll not give a reason either. They don't give you any of that information.
Sounds like as if to say that you know what you did.
It comes across that way, right? Yeah, it comes across that way, and I would love to tell you that, okay, they got me, but no, I don't I don't do any of that stuff. So I'll just give you the rundown. This morning I got up, and it's Iron Banner week I have not touched Iron Banner all week. Earlier in the week, Tuesday is reset day when everything changes again and becomes new again. And the story progresses every Tuesday. So Tuesday hit, and I'm running all 3 characters through this season, getting everybody leveled to where they need to be for when Final Shape releases, and I can go through everything with all 3 characters. So Tuesday, I took my Warlock through the new story missions that I had to do for the week. Got that done, taken care of. Okay. Wednesday, I was able to take my Titan and my Hunter. Since I'm so familiar with my Hunter being my main character, I was able to breeze through that much quicker than I was with my Warlock and my Titan.
Right.
So on Wednesday, I did my Titan and my Titan and my Hunter. Mm-hmm. Got the story stuff out of the way, thinking, okay, once I'm done, I'm going to be taking my alt characters through Iron Banner. It's going to be a great way for them to earn XP, get armor. My alts need armor badly. Not just the exotics, but they need more pieces of armor. Right now, I've got one set that is to level. The rest of the stuff is really low powered, or just exotics, because my vault space has gotten almost full, and plenty of other things. But the playing Iron Banner is a chance to not only earn the rep that I need for everything, but also get stuff for all of my characters. So this morning I'm playing Iron Banner with my Titan, going through it, and I can probably show. Well, I won't show you, but I can click on. I can tell you how many matches I played. Mm-hmm. Yes, I know I'm leaving Discord and going to a different site. If it'll load in. Seems to be taking a while. Okay, here we go. Let's see. How many games did I play this morning? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I played 7 games this morning. Out of those 7, I won 2 matches. I lost all the others. Mm-hmm. It was the last 2. I won 2 in a row. And I was like, oh, well, good. I'm on a roll here. And this is not with joining. This is me solo queuing. In other words, I'm not in a fire team with somebody else. I get into a team that the matchmaking puts me into. Playing by myself.
Just random matches, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I get those 2 wins, and I'm like, okay, it's just around 9 o'clock. Let me stop, take dog out, come back in, and we'll just keep going. So I finish that match. I back out of matchmaking because I don't want to play another game or another round of that yet. I want to take a break. I go to orbit. I'm sitting in orbit. I don't know how long after I had gotten out. I'm sitting in orbit, and suddenly I get the screenshot, or the screen comes up. Mm-hmm. I mean, it just goes straight to black and gives you the error. I say error message. It looks like an error message. This is what it looks like if you want to look at your screen there.
Yeah.
It just says, not so fast. This account has been banned. For more information, please go to bungie.net/ban. Just out of nowhere.
Okay, so is there a reporting system?
There is an appeals process in which, not in game. You have to go to a website to do the appeals process.
No, I mean reporting, like someone reports you for weird activity.
You can be reported, but usually this is something that they would look into before
just banning.
Boom, banning. You know.
Well, it didn't say it had to be. It was that night. I mean, you play like every day, right?
Right.
Yeah, so it could have been earlier. I'm just speculating, guessing at this
point. Well, still, even if it was.
Because it sounds like.
For what?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm like, for what reason was this bad happen? Because you haven't done it. You've been playing it like this for this long.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you get banned.
That one link I went to where I was looking at my matches, it even goes back further, because last weekend I did a whole mess of Gambit. Mm-hmm. Because it was Gambit double rep week, and I wanted to get my title, my Dredgen title.
Yeah.
And you have to do all these things to get that title, and I had reset rank. I did I don't know how many games of Gambit I played, but I played a ton of Gambit last week and had nothing happen. So, I mean, maybe it's not related to Iron Banner. I don't know. But even if it isn't, what is it related to?
Yeah.
And honestly, I know their policy is they don't tell you why they ban you, and even if they reverse the ban, they likely won't tell me why they banned me.
Yeah.
They'll just reverse the ban, and it would be not. I think let me go to, so let's see, request received. Thank you for taking the time to submit your ban or restriction appeal. With the information you have provided, we have opened case ID number, blah, blah, blah. Please be advised that we may only respond further if we need more information to investigate your appeal or if we decided to grant your appeal and modify your ban or restriction. So that's it. Either I don't hear from them and I stay banned forever, or I hear from them because it's lifted, or they need more information. And that is it. I did a restart of the computer because some of the guys in the clan were like, hey, maybe your connection's doing a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we don't know why I'm banned. We have no way of knowing why I'm banned. Their banning system is an automated system.
Oh, okay.
So
I wonder if it's like connection stuff, and it like triggered something like, hey, something's weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
Possibly.
The cool thing is that you can look at my match history, and Gambit I go ham in. I'm really good at Gambit. But Iron Banner, you can easily see that I wasn't exploiting or doing any kind of shenanigans because I wasn't playing great at all.
Iron Banner's a crapshoot to me.
Yeah.
I'm not good at PvP.
The terrible part is, like, how much time and money have you put in Destiny over the years?
I can't.
A significant amount.
That's fine because I feel like I've gotten my money's worth that I have put into it.
Yes, but it's one of those things like, if you've paid that money, then it should be yours to play.
I would feel bad if I had pre-ordered the upcoming stuff and was using the gun or whatever and hadn't canceled the pre-order or whatever that they do. I think pre-orders you can probably get a refund on regardless, since you haven't actually played it. But
no history of hacking, no history of bad behavior.
That was the other thing that one of the guys in the clan brought up was that, wow, a permaban on your first instance type of thing, not a restriction first or something.
We don't know what the instance is, so yeah.
There's
or you might not hear from them at all. They made a mistake and they just undo it, but you wouldn't hear from them anyway because it's an automated system.
Right. Yeah. It is a done deal. So I was talking with some of the guys in the clan, and I was talking about the fact that, I have read stories of people being banned before. Some unjustly, some justly.
Yeah.
I have, most of the time, these that I've read about are on the higher profile players, the streamers, the YouTubers, that sort of thing, where usually it comes out that, the reason we banned you was for a legit reason. You're just playing coy or whatever the case may be, and it doesn't get turned around. And it feels like they're on top of these things. But there have been waves of bans where, you shouldn't have been included, or this was not meant to affect you, we got to reverse that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. It's not a quick process.
No.
Regardless. So I had mentioned that, these things usually aren't done at a speedy pace. It is the weekend. It's very likely I'm not going to get looked at until Monday, if at all. Mm-hmm. So I don't know exactly what's going to happen. I've sort of come to terms with it, I think. It's a weird feeling. I was telling them, I was like, I knew that I would be done with this game probably after the next expansion. Like, it's going to release. It's going to wrap up this saga that started way back in 2013 or whatever it was. It's going to wrap everything up. And when I get done with that year, it is likely that I'm going to separate myself from the game and move on to other things. I may come back to it. They may offer me something, in other words, like more story, or they may do, I don't know what they're going to do. But it might entice me to stick around. But I had kind of prepared that after Final Shape releases, at least for that year, afterwards, I'd likely be done with the game, and I was wondering what I was going to do. But now, it's just a strange feeling to not have that option to play a game that you have played, on a dedicated fashion, almost daily of your life, type of thing.
Yeah.
I don't feel, I don't know, it's not a situation like somebody quitting smoking or something like that. I don't have any kind of withdrawals type of thing. I say the best part about this is that I can't play the game. I literally cannot log in and play the game. So part of me
is forcing you to look at other options.
Right,
Every
exactly. So part of me's like,
yeah.
you can't do anything about it, man. So why even worry about it? Why have that withdrawal from it since you can't get to it?
Because you got tons of other stuff to play anyway. So yeah,
it's one of the things where I talked about FOMO, fear of missing out.
Yeah.
While that has been kind of easily gotten rid of in Destiny over time, there's still a fear of missing out of, I got to do the next part of the story. I got to get this. I got to do that. I got to run through, I got to do the raid tonight, which I was planning on doing the raid tonight.
Yeah.
I got to get my armor from the raid. I got to get all these little things. But when it's taken from you and literally you cannot access it at all ever, you kind of just live with it. You kind of just sit with it and be like, okay, what's next? Because that's it. Yeah. There's nothing you can do. Now, I'm not... We were talking about this again where it was like, man, I'd be so enraged. And I was like, it's a weird feeling. I feel like I should be, but I also feel like I really don't have the energy to be upset over this because there is so little I can do. There's so very little I can do about this outside of what I've just done, which is file an appeal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They are not going to, if I were to tweet this out, all they would say is, this is where you go to file an appeal. Have you done that? All right. Yeah. That's it.
Or have some full-blown meltdown rant on social media somewhere. No.
So
that does nothing.
That does nothing.
In one case, I feel like, hey, I got time to play other games now.
Exactly, yeah.
In another case, you ever see Shawshank Redemption?
Yeah.
There was a character in Shawshank by the name of Brooks.
You've been institutionalized.
It's one of those things where it's like, wait, this has been me for the past ever many years. I don't know how to function without that sort of thing. Yeah. That's not the case. I'm being over dramatic a little bit, but it is a strange feeling. Let me take away something that has been with you for 10 years.
When you don't get that hit of dopamine.
Yeah, I guess it is. Again, I don't feel really bad about it.
It's a loss, but it's not that great loss, that great debilitating loss. It's not like...
we're still talking about a video game, for God's sake.
Yeah,
so
true.
I'm okay with it, but it is a strange feeling for that to be gone. I think more so than it would be had it naturally gone away in a sense of, hey, I've finished everything up, and I'm done. I think it's a strange... It's just an odd feeling.
I liken it to like that hard drive crash and lost all my data, so I just have to start over from scratch. It's nothing nothing like that.
The other thing is like, hey, this is you were banned from Destiny 2. You're okay because it's like you weren't banned from Xbox Live, or your Steam account wasn't taken away.
Oh man, if that were to happen, woo!
I wouldn't lose much of it.
And it's
I would lose it.
I mean, your games are like in the triple digits. I think I'm still in the double.
Random's in the chat room, but I know you're on Discord. I don't know if you're in. I think you are in the. You're in the other Discord. If you want to hop on there and give us your thoughts on this, you're more than welcome to, man. On the in-game chat Discord, there we have our voice chat set up. We got about 15 minutes left in this episode. Now, Thar66 brings up a fact that he says it will probably be reversed. It's just a mistake. So I've been thinking about that too.
Yeah.
If I come to the terms of, if I prepared myself that I'm not going to play Destiny anymore because I can't play Destiny anymore, if that feeling sits in me where I'm wondering if at some point they reverse this. Hey, here's your account back. We were wrong on that. Am I going to want to get back into it? Am I going to say, you know what? I'm okay. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But I'm good. It's one of those things where it's like, do I use this as my exit? Even if they reinstate.
Gracefully.
Like if they were to reinstate today, okay, fine, I'm back in.
Yeah, but like say a month goes by.
Right. Like how long does it take before it comes back and they say, yeah, here's your account back. Sorry about that. Where I'm just like, yeah, it's okay. I'm good.
When Final Shape release.
Possibly, right?
That's the only thing. That's one thing I can see. If you get to a point where the ban lasts long enough where you lose interest or you have so many other things to play, I think when something brand new pops out, your interest will get piqued again. Then you'll go back into it.
It was a strange ride for a good 30 minutes there of oh my God, what am I going to do now? To, oh my God, I can do anything I want. It was a strange feeling.
I know Starfield's out.
Yeah, didn't take long for you to figure out. Oh, play
well,
something
yeah,
else.
no, I gave a whole list.
Yeah.
Random's in there. You need to unmute your mic, I guess, or do I unmute it? I'm not sure. I don't know if he's pushed to talk or I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, go ahead. You can talk to us, dude. Yeah, I got you on the air. So.
All right.
He doesn't know what button is push to talk. Let me turn off push to talk and see if I can do that. Hang on. Where's the thing? Permissions.
Technical difficulties is part of our charm.
Oh,
I don't know how to work
Why
this.
be professional?
I'm not a Discord guru like Random actually is.
Test? Okay, I got it.
There we
There
go.
we go. All right.
Yeah, I just had to switch the push to talk. Hi, guys.
How you doing?
All right. Just I know you've done this before, but you're on radio, so watch the language. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we think it's we know this is. I know it's a mistake, but we think it's.
Oh, it's got to be a mistake. You don't grief anybody. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen on a video game.
In fact, earlier this week, I was running with randoms through the new story mission, and I was actively pointing them to the chest locations of the secret chests of the week. I'm like, hey, here. Oh, hey, there's a hidden card over here. Go, go, go. You know, I'm shooting it where I need them to go. I helped like 2 or 3 teams of people as we were going through the stuff on my different characters. Doing that. No, don't grief. I don't do any of that stuff. I wasn't running any kind of a cheat thing or whatever. And I'll tell you that they're very good at catching these things. There's no, there's no reason to do that.
Yeah,
me,
Bad Lie, which is the anti-cheat system that they use, and it's used in other games. I don't know which ones, but that can catch weird stuff. And I'm pretty clean on my desktop, and you are too. But it's like, it doesn't make any sense how that would catch you. And in-game bans or in-game reporting would only get you a 24-hour the first time. This seems permanent, which is weird.
Yeah. Yeah. And there was nothing, no heads up, no.
Maybe they're doing you a favor.
No, I mean, they've obviously gotten
a radio show based on games. Go play something else.
Yeah, they've obviously gotten.
It's lethal migraine.
Yeah, right.
He finally got you.
Trying to get me off of this thing. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Scott says he plays a lot, and you have to realize, like, there are some other people in the clan that play more than he does, including myself. And he says he did Gambit. I did the same thing. I also, unlike Scott, we met through LFG, which is looking for group. It's another server.
Yeah, he is really. His name's random in the thing, but he was a random person.
Yeah.
And I play LFG a ton, especially when the new raid comes out. Although I've been rethinking it because of the last 8 hours. But if you're caught in a group, especially in PvP, with another person who does cheat, you're on the chopping block too, and that's always a concern. Like, this is why I don't do Trials of Osiris kind of thing. But how Scott got caught up in this, I've heard of false ban waves. This has to be one. Yeah,
I wonder, were you running with a group that someone who was?
See, I hadn't, they asked me that, and I used LFG this season for, I think maybe 4 times. I used it for a couple of runs at the beginning of the season for one of the new game modes, because I wanted to run a massively advanced version of that game mode, tier 3 or whatever, and I knew it'd be best to go to LFG to pick people who knew what they were doing. So I ran that, and then I ran a legend activity which did not have matchmaking, and so I did an LFG with that to join in with somebody. That was the last time I LFG'd with somebody was last week, not this past week that is gone on, but the Labor Day week, or the week before Labor Day.
Yeah,
would have been the last time I think that I LFG'd with somebody to run this thing, and that's a possibility. But like you said, in-game reporting usually gives you a 24-hour restriction or a 24-hour ban. There is no mention of any. This is a permanent ban to the game, and I have no idea why that is. They can obviously look at my stats and see that there was really
No reason.
If he was cheating, we don't know how he was cheating because
he's poorly.
He's really bad at this game.
Or really good at hiding the fact that he's cheating by being so bad.
Yeah, right? I mean, yeah.
So mundane.
You got to remember, Bungie also has this policy where if it's an in-game exploit, you got to look at. There's a couple of YouTubers like Cheese Forever, which is a big one who tells all these exploits. They allow you to use this stuff in-game. It's their fault. It's their program. But that has nothing to do with this. And going from Iron Banner to just being banned is just, again, I don't even know where to start.
Yeah, it's weird.
That guilt by association thing you mentioned. How long is the ban from that? Is it a 24-hour ban as well, or
it can be the whole gambit? You can get the 24-hour, or it's more like if you were caught with somebody. Trials of Osiris is a 7-match system, so if you're in with the whole thing from beginning to end with somebody who's cheating and you know they're cheating, they're going to catch you for that. Mm-hmm. If it's a one-off, like you're playing solo and you go in, it may not be a ban at all. If a 24-hour thing, if you won or something, but even that's not big.
Yeah. So, at the worst, it's 24 hours, not perma.
Right.
Okay. Jeez.
So yeah, it's interesting. Again, I have sent my appeal in, and I. That's the other thing. I'm not really waiting for a response because they've already said we don't have to respond to tell you anything other than you've unbanned or we need more information.
I think you're at the point where you just like whatever happens, happens.
So there's no. I really feel like there's no point in me sitting there kind of waiting for the phone to ring.
Yeah.
Type of thing, and just sort of. All right. Well, if I hear from him, I do. If not, I'll pass clan ownership on to you, Random. There's nothing I can do.
Oh, that's so sad. Don't get me started.
I know it's really horrible.
I got through this. Like I said, it's really weird.
I was hoping to finish this off with our clan next year and go through the whole thing and do our last final raid for whatever that might be or however it might unfold. But I'll have to just watch it on a stream, I guess. I thought about you can create a new account, just start over, man. You can do that. No.
Yeah, I don't want to get into. RJ didn't want me to say how much. You didn't say how much he spent on the game. Trust me, it's a lot of money to get to this point.
Yeah, I mean it is, and like I said, I don't feel in any way robbed of any sort of money from this game. Mm-hmm. I really got my money's worth out of this game.
Oh, yeah.
For the 10 plus years I've been playing it. I easily got my money's worth. I also never spent in-game money on this thing. You know what I mean? The silver that they call, which is their stuff you pay with real money, never put any money into that. Never did. I think with the exception of one time because I had to flesh out my bank in order to transfer my silver over to a new account because of the Blizzard and the Steam thing.
Yeah.
That was the only time I actually did that.
Yeah.
And so Duke asks, if you're banned in a week, are you back in? If I get an email this week and they're like, hey, we did that, it was our fault, you're back in. I mean, sure. I don't exactly know how long it'll take before I say, yeah, I'm good. But I mean, if it's in a week, then yeah, I'm back into it easily. But if it is a month from now, or something comes down the line later that 2 months from now, I can't say for sure that I would be jumping back in. Maybe for Final Shape I would be
for Final Shape,
but I never pre-ordered the game, and I feel like if I've cut that cord at that point, I ain't gonna try and reattach it. Also, they can just sort of ban you out of nowhere like that. It's a little scary to think, why would I want to get back into it? To possibly have that happen again. I don't know. So, yeah. Steve, I have no idea. He's asking if it's 1 month, 2 months. What do you think? I have no idea, dude. I don't know. Thar66 says your IP is probably banned. You would have to use... No, it's not the IP that's banned. It is the account. And your account is tied to your Steam account, which is tied to your Bungie account. It is all of that is banned. That is banned. Your IP is not banned. Because I could create a new account. I would have to create a new Steam account, a new Bungie account, everything else, and then start completely from scratch. Then I could play again. I believe. Isn't that right, Random?
Yeah, immediately. I think the last time I was looking up, it was at least 2 weeks before they did an accidental ban wave, and then it was like 2 or 3 weeks later they unbanned everybody, which a lot of them didn't come back.
Yeah, the problem with that, one of the other things, and we're running out of time here. One of the other things I did immediately, well, I say immediately, but over the course of the hours after I had been banned, was started looking around to see if anybody else was posting, "Hey, did you just get banned?" I couldn't find anything. Nothing. Which makes my case seem like, I don't know.
They were targeted.
They saw something. Yeah. Which I've talked about what I was running, which was Cookie Clicker was running because it always runs. But it's been running for 2 years while I've been playing the game. So I don't think there's a problem there. TeamViewer was up, which allows me to monitor some stuff at work. Again, something that I've done many times before.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyway, hey, Random, thanks for stepping in on this, man.
No worries. Thanks, man.
Have a good raid tonight, and the rest of have a good Destiny time with the rest of it. Anyway,
thank you. I'm thinking about uninstalling, but yeah, I'll give it a go.
I'll talk to you later.
Take care now.
See ya.
All right. Well, that is going to wrap things up for us. Matt, thank you so much for being on the show.
My pleasure.
RJ, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, buddy.
And to everybody else in the chat room, okay, nope, we got to go. That's a lot of people in there. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. We are running out of time. Music here from Bomb Rush Cyberfunk. I know.
You're just throwing random words together.
It's Jet Set Radio. That's what it is. We'll see you next week. Have a great one.